I'll tell you what I found crazy about that fight, though. The next day, the judges' scorecards came out, and two out of the three actually gave it to Gaethje.
He did some damage. He landed some big leg kicks.
But he was on the back foot. He nearly had the armbar at the end of it. Like I was like, I really don't know what's going on there, right? Like it's But I have to say, look,
when you have to do that, when you have to go 10-9 and you have to cut it at 5 minutes. Like I was joking the other day with the demolition promoter over in Melbourne. So he was writing me having a bit of a laugh, and fighting came up and ... and I said the only way I'd ever fight again is if it was just a straight 10-minute fight. You know, I'm old. I don't want to do 15 or 25. You know, I go all these breaks and stand-ups and all this stuff, And he's like, who would you fight? And I'm like, well, Bob Sapp or someone similar. I'm not trying to be serious. You know, it's like don't get it twisted. I go, I'm not chasing Rob Whittaker right now. Don't worry. Or Kyle Noak. Like, I don't want to get hit. But that whole, like, at 5 minutes, whatever happens, let's just erase that and start over. Like, the purist in me is just, it's so awkward. And I get it with wrestling. Like, we put each other on our back and you're almost pinning someone and the buzzer goes off. But I think that adds to the thrill of wrestling in a sense. And I think it does it in a way that's not as dangerous, where MMA, it's one of them ones where, like, people can get seriously hurt. So you've got Justin Gaethje mounted, almost armbarred, and then we're going to stand back up and hand Justin Gaethje a set of nunchucks and a katana and let him come back at you with weapons again. Like, wait, no, I've just disarmed him and tied him up. You know what I mean? Like, even if I sit on top of him for 20 minutes and wait for the police to show up and wait for the 25-minute buzzer, take my title and go home. But, like, it's so strange to me. And then you have referees that'll stand people up from side control in half guard because they're not doing anything. Well, he's not doing anything. Like, I've had my forearm buried 6 centimeters into someone's neck before and had a ref stand me up. I'm choking him right now. I know it doesn't look like a cool move, but he is not having fun.
I think it's to do with education, and it's the one thing that I say with people that go through the Wimp to Warrior series, right, is that before the Wimp to Warrior series, a lot of these people, you know, because it's their first sort of experience, you know, they may be the type of people that exactly the thing you were just talking about, that be in the crowd booing because they feel like there's a lack of action. After you go through a series like that and you at least learn the little bits of control, you know, and little adjustments that you make, cage control, this and that, I think the same goes with a lot of the refs. Like, I find that some refs, if they've got like a good jiu-jitsu base and so forth, they allow that ground action to continue a lot more, where a lot of these other refs that have come across from boxing or whatever, they just see it as in there's two guys lying on the ground, then they hear the crowd boo a little, right? And then they're like, okay, let's stand them up. So I totally agree, but I think it's an education thing. How you change that, I have no idea, but you know, everyone's got their background, and I just feel like it's really predominant on what that ref's background is on how he's going to ref that fight.
Yeah, I'll even take that a step further with the bias. Like, I've seen it where it's biased toward the athlete itself, not so much the ref's background, but like they'll give Damian Maia more time off of his back. So he'll shut someone down, which is the first step, right? Where if like a Tai Tuivasa shuts someone down and it's boring, they'll stand him up. When Maia shuts him down, they're like, oh, now the game's about to start. But it's been the same 45 seconds of action trying to tie up an arm, trying to break the guy's posture, trying to get the overhook, but then they'll let Damian Maia continue for the next 3 minutes, but they'll stand Tai Tuivasa up. Or Randy Couture against the cage. They'll leave Randy there for 5 minutes. I had Chris Tagliani, like, I just got my hands locked around John Howard, double underhooks, up into the back of his neck, up against the cage. I just, 20 seconds against the cage. Just got double underhooks, finally locked my hands. He broke us up.
And is that like how as a fighter, is that
he's a wrestling referee?
Is that soul crushing? Like when you get to that, like, You know, I mean, it's the one thing I say with wrestling. I mean, the great thing there is that you guys are taught very early on to enjoy the grind, and I think that's the one thing I take out of the wrestlers is that they're mind strong. They're very mind strong compared to like.
Good things don't come easy. You know what I
But
mean? If I
in a
want a good
case,
position against someone staunch, it doesn't come easy.
yeah, but so in a case like that, like how much win does that take out of you? If you know you've fought for this position. And then, as you say, 20 seconds later, the ref's like, "All right, let's give it back to the other guy." Like,
I mean, you're implementing your game plan. You're doing the right thing. And again, talking about giving the nunchuck and katana back to Gaethje, like John Howard was a dangerous dude and had decent jiu-jitsu. It wasn't going to be a cakewalk on the ground if I got the takedown, but it was going to be better for me. So to have to back up and look at this guy, super athletic, hard leg kicks, you know what I mean? Like big, mean hands, like to have to enter that again, you know, like it's not exactly Lisa Simpson doing the windmill. You know what I mean? Like it's a serious situation. So it's just stressful to have to again like jump. It's not like you can really just walk in there. Like I've had a couple in the UFC where I was able to walk in on people because they were between punches or they thought I was going to punch and they were back in their shell. You know what I mean? But again, that's a gift that you know the luck that you create for yourself through hard work and a bit of cunning and gamesmanship. But to have to start that over again, like that is the most stressful part of a fight when you the first, especially the first time coming out. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Once you get going, you're in a flow. But that flow can very much be interrupted by a referee making a decision like that. That has nothing to do with the action. There's no reason to separate two fighters in a 5-minute round, regardless of what they're doing, unless there's a foul.